Everyone, I am in the kitchen with Miss Allison Davis, and we are working today. We're going to be working on a soup today, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what do we got?
I mean, I know it's summer, but sometimes there is a call for soup. I don't care when it is.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
This is one of them. This is one of my favorite soups, and I've really been enjoying it. It's more of an Italian soup, like a white bean and kale.
Okay.
Is the way that I would go.
Okay.
So we've got a little oil in the bottom of our pan, and really what I start with for fresh soups is what's called or known as a mirepoix.
Okay.
And that is onions, celery, and carrots.
Okay.
So
I didn't know it had a fancy name.
Yeah,
Mirepoix?
well, it's a culinary term, but it's kind of like our trinity of vegetables.
Awesome.
So onion, celery, and carrots is a great starter for flavor in a lot of soups. So I found this at Trader Joe's, but you can get mirepoix all diced up and ready to go for you. So it's going to save you a ton of prep time.
Yeah.
And you may find this at other grocery stores as well, but I just happened to stumble across this and I was like, well, this is perfect for soup making.
Yep.
So you just take this and you just start to add that in, and you can start to just saute all of that together.
Okay.
Until it just starts to sweat and gets a little bit softened.
Okay.
Right? So once this kind of sweats a bit, then we're going to add in some garlic, and then really it's just building and layering flavors. So with this one, I've got some chicken broth that we're going to add into the soup.
Okay.
And so we're going to let that go. I've got some fresh thyme. As far as like aromatics, I like to go with some fresh thyme. Bay leaf, I feel like really adds a lot of flavor.
You just put the whole thing in there?
I did.
Okay.
I'm saving time today. You know,
Are ya?
it's all about that quick, simple, delicious.
Wow.
So it's very French to just throw in the whole like sprigs of herbs
and everything,
and you get the flavor. And some of the leaves will come off into the soup, but then when you're done, it's infused it with all that thyme, and you can just take the whole sprigs back out.
Gotcha.
Same as with like your bay leaf. You know, add a couple bay leaves in there, and
Same
then
thing.
you'll pull those out when you're ready to serve the soup.
Awesome.
I like a bit of heat going into you know everything.
We always need the heat.
So I add
even
just
in the
a
summer,
touch,
it doesn't matter.
just a touch of red pepper flake, and that's to your taste. If you like a little bit more spice, add a little more. And really with soups, it's all about just kind of building those flavors as you go.
Okay.
And then one of my other favorites with this one in particular is fennel seed. So I add a little bit of fennel seed, and I just love that anise fennel. Kind of almost like a licorice flavor that it brings.
Okay.
Tarragon is another one that is really strong in that anise or fennel flavor.
Okay.
All right. So once we've sweated our vegetables a little bit, we'll add in our garlic, and we'll just continue to let this kind of cook and work its way down just to soften up those vegetables. And then you're going to go with your stock. So I'm just using some chicken broth. You could also use vegetable stock if you wanted. If you were trying to make like a vegetarian version of the soup. But then you're going to let this broth come up and bring this to more of a simmer.
Okay.
All right. And magic of TV, I've got one already here ready to go, so we can kind of sample this. So once this comes up to a simmer, then that's when we're going to start to add, salt, pepper, and just kind of season it.
Okay.
Now what I call the soup was a white bean and kale.
Yeah.
These are going to go in a little bit later, so we'll add the beans first, but these are canned beans. They're not fresh.
Okay.
So they're already nice and soft, so you don't want to overcook them too much to where they just like break down to mush. So we'll add this kind of after this is simmered a bit.
Okay.
And then towards the end, I'll add the fresh kale in, and I like that to be fresh, because I don't want it to really cook down too much and get bitter.
Right.
So when we're almost ready to serve, then I'll throw in that fresh kale, so you get that bit of fresh greens in there.
Fantastic.
Now you could make this a vegetarian version, but what I did with the one that I already have made, I added in just some sausage as well. So you could get some Italian sausage or some kielbasa, and you can just cut those into rings and just throw those in, and that's going to add a nice little bit of meaty and protein. So this is really like a dinner in itself.
It is.
And it's delicious. So I can't wait for you to try it.
I can't wait to try it either.
Yeah, and then towards the end, this is one of my culinary tricks for the day. Well, first trick is I'm not using the fresh lemon juice. I'm using the organic just out of the bottle. I've done some taste tests, and they are very similar, and there's nothing else that's been added to it. It's just pure organic lemon juice. So you can feel good about that and the shelf life of it. But one of my tricks, if you are making a soup or really anything, and it sometimes is bland and you're not really sure which way to take it,
Yeah.
a chef that I worked with had add a little bit more salt, and then add a touch of lemon juice, and then try it again. What lemon does is it really brings out all of the flavors, and it just makes them, you know, kind of come together. And I use the word like it brightens the dish. So yeah, try a lemon and salt, and you should be good to go.
Well, I cannot wait to try it. And if you want this recipe and many other recipes, go to our website at wtbq.com/Midday Kentucky. Look for the recipes tab, or you can head over to Allison's website at wildtimecooking.com. We will be right back right after these short messages. Can't wait to try it.